You know what's actually terrifying? It's not war. It's not poverty. It's not even death. It's waking up at 32, staring at your ceiling, realizing you've never been kissed him. The only person who texts you is your mom, asking if you've eaten, and you're not broken. You're not evil. You didn't do anything wrong, but you're alone, and you're not the only one right now. Millions of people, men and women, are sitting in silence, scrolling through lives they're not part of, watching relationships unfold. Like scripted TV shows they were never cast in, and we've given them names now. Incels, Femcels, labels, slapped on human beings like warning signs. Do not engage. Not attractive, not worthy. But here's the thing most people won't admit. This isn't just about looks. It's not even mainly about looks. This is about a world that has forgotten how to connect. And if you think this only happens to ugly people, or weird people, or basement dwellers, you're already part of the problem, because the loneliness epidemic isn't below the surface. It's everywhere, and it's spreading faster than anyone wants to admit. The myth of the Incel. Deconstructing the emo and STR. Let's start with incels. If you Google it, you'll see incel is a portmanteau of involuntary celibate. Refers to men who cannot find sexual partners despite desiring them. Often associated with misogynistic ideologies and online extremism. That's the official story. But go deeper. Spend time in those forums. Read the posts, not the rage, not the hate. The real ones, the quiet ones. You'll find something different. You'll find guys writing things like, "I've never held hands with someone. Is it weird that I'm 26 and that's never happened? I tried asking a girl out. She said no. I haven't spoken to anyone since. I work 60 hours a week. I go to the gym. I try to be kind. But no one sees me." These aren't monsters. These are people, and yes, some incels are toxic. Some do hate women. Some are dangerous. But that's not the majority. The majority are just stuck. And why? Because the game changed, and no one told them the rules. 20 years ago, you could meet someone at school, at work, at church, at the bar. Now, dating apps, algorithms, swipe culture. You're not a person anymore. You're a profile, and if your face doesn't trigger dopamine in the first 0.3 seconds, you're gone. Ghosted before you even existed. And for men especially average or below average. Looking men, the cost of trying has become unbearable because effort doesn't scale. You can work out, you can dress better, you can learn how to talk. You can grow emotionally, but none of that guarantees results. And when you pour everything into becoming someone, people might like and still get nothing. You start to wonder, what's the point? So you retreat. You go online. You find others like you. And slowly, the bitterness sets in. Not because you hate women, but because you feel invisible. And when you're invisible long enough, you start believing. You don't deserve to be seen. That's the real incel crisis, not the extremists, not the kill-all-women freaks, but the silent majority, the ones who just want to hold someone's hand. Here, I like you. And be real with someone, and they can't. Because the world isn't built for quiet guys. It's built for loud ones, confident ones, rich ones, hot ones. And if you're not any of those, you're a ghost. The silent side of loneliness. Now, let's talk about femcels. And no, this isn't a joke. This isn't women don't get lonely. This is real, but femcels are different. Because society doesn't pathologize lonely women, it romanticizes them. We have movies about the manic pixie dream girl who's single but quirky. We have books about the brilliant, introverted woman who finds love when she least expects it. We have entire genres built on the idea that a woman's loneliness is poetic, not pathetic, but real femcels. They don't look like Zooey Deschanel. They look like the girl who sat alone in high school, the one who never got asked to prom, the one who smiles too much because she's afraid of being forgotten. And now, at 28, 33, she's still alone, and she's not bitter, she's terrified. Because every year that passes, the clock ticks louder, and the worst part, she wants to be with someone. She watches couples, not with envy, but with confusion. How do they do it? How do they just touch each other, laugh together, share a life? She tries. She goes on dates. But something's off. She freezes up. She overthinks. She feels like a burden, or worse, she gets ghost again and again, and slowly. She starts to believe the lie. I'm unlovable. But here's the twist. Femcels often don't even realize they're femcels, because the word femcel has been hijacked. Now it's used to mock women who are ugly or bitter, but real femcels, they're not bitter, they're withdrawn. They're the ones with anxiety, with autism, with social trauma. They're the ones who want to connect, but don't know how. And unlike incels, they're not screaming into the void. They're silent. They don't have forums. They don't have memes. They don't have armies. They have diaries and private Instagrams and midnight thoughts that go, will anyone ever love me? And the answer from the world? Radio silence. The great lie, hot people date hot people. Now here's where everyone gets it wrong. People say, it's simple. Hot people date hot people. Mids date mids. Uglies stay alone. That's the black pill narrative. And it's mostly true, but not in the way you think. Because here's the shocker. Even hot people are lonely. Yes, the guy with the six-pack, the girl with the perfect face. They're also alone because attractiveness doesn't cure loneliness. It just delays it. Think about it. How many hot people do you know who are in real, deep, meaningful relationships? Not hookups, not Instagram couples, but actual love. The kind where you can cry in front of someone and they don't flinch. The kind where you're seen. Most hot people are trapped in a cycle of validation. They get attention, they get sex, they get likes, but they don't get connection. Because when you're treated like a trophy, you start to wonder, do they like me or what I represent? And that's its own kind of loneliness. So the idea that only ugly people suffer, that's a myth. The truth is, everyone is struggling. The difference is how they struggle. Incel guys suffer from rejection. Femcels suffer from invisibility. Hot people suffer from distrust. And average people, they suffer from indifference. And in this world where everyone is performing, curating, filtering, no one has the energy to just be so, we all end up alone. Not because we're unlovable, but because we've forgotten how to try. The gender gap. Why men suffer emarine, now let us get uncomfortable. Men are suffering more, not because women don't suffer, but because the expectations are brutal. Let's break it down. If you're a woman and you're single, you're independent. You're focusing on yourself, you're waiting for the right one. But if you're a man and you're single, you're pathetic, you're beta, you're probably a creep. Society punishes men for being alone, and it starts young boys are taught, be strong, be confident, be the one who approaches. But what if you're not? What if you're shy, anxious, quiet? You're told to man up, so you try. You go to the gym, you buy nice clothes. You watch pickup artist videos, you perform masculinity, but it's exhausting. And when it doesn't work, you're told it's your fault. No game, not alpha enough, get better. But here's the truth. You can do everything right. It's going to still fail. Because attraction isn't logical. It's chemistry. It's timing. It's luck. And when you've tried for years and nothing changes, you break. And that's why incel forums exist, not because these men hate women, but because they're desperate. They're looking for any explanation, any reason why they're alone. And the black pill gives them one. It's not you. It's the system. It's genetics. It's fate. But it's also a cry for help. Meanwhile, women, they're allowed to wait. They're allowed to be picky. They're allowed to be picky. I haven't met the right one.
And no one
Shames them. But men, if you're 30 and never had a girlfriend, you're a joke, and that pressure destroys people. The Femcel advantage, why women can win at LONACS here, is a controversial take. Femcels have an advantage, not because they suffer less, but because society prepares women for loneliness. Think about it. Every book, every movie, every song, They're about emotional journeys. Women are taught love is a process. It takes time. It's about connection. Men, they're taught get the girl, win, score. So, when a woman is lonely, she has narratives. She can tell herself, I'm waiting for real love. She can watch Pride and Prejudice and believe in slow burns. She can read The Notebook and cry at the romance. But men, they're fed porn, pickup artistry, TikTok thirst traps. They're taught that sex equals success, that love equals conquest. So when they fail, they don't see it as a journey, they see it as failure. And that's why so many incels turn to extremism, because they've been told their worth is tied to sexual success, and when they don't have it, they feel worthless. Femcels, on the other hand, can reframe their loneliness. They can say, I'm not broken, I'm just not ready. They can focus on friendships, careers, hobbies, and eventually. Some of them do find love, not because they changed their looks, but because they healed, and that's the key difference. Femcels are allowed to grow. Incels are expected to. Perform. One is seen as human, the other is seen as defective. The solution: robo wifus, bimbofication, and digital ESEAPI-ISM. Now let's talk about the weird stuff. Because when real connection fails, people turn to simulations. For men, robo-wives. TPE dolls, AI girlfriends. For women, bimbofication, plastic surgery, hot girl walks. Both are escape routes. Let's start with robo-wifus. You've seen the videos, guys, with $10,000 dolls, dressed in pink, sitting on the couch, watching TV. It looks absurd, but look closer. These men aren't happy. They're relieved, because for the first time, they have someone who won't reject them, someone who won't laugh, someone who just exists with them. Is it real? No, but it's something, and in a world where real intimacy feels impossible, something is better than nothing. Now, bimbo fighting, women getting surgeries, lip fillers, Brazilian butt lifts, hormone treatments, not for health, not for confidence, but because they believe, if I look like a fantasy, maybe someone will love me. It's tragic, because they're not trying to be themselves. They're trying to be desirable, and the saddest part, some of them do find partners, but not because they're loved, because they're consumed. They become objects, and when the novelty wears off, they're discarded again. So both paths, robo-wifus and bimbofication, are copes. They're not solutions. They're surrenders. Why incels and femcels don't date each other? Now here's the big question. If incels and femcels are both lonely, why don't they just date each other? Sounds logical. Lonely guy, lonely girl. Both want connection. Win-win, right? Wrong? Because neither side wants to settle. Both are trapped in the same illusion. I deserve someone attractive. The curse of the internet. Because we're constantly bombarded with perfection. Instagram models, TikTok influencers, porn stars. Our baseline for attractiveness has skyrocketed. So when you meet someone real average, it's kind, nervous, flawed, you don't see potential. You see compromise, and no one wants to compromise. So incels scroll, past femcels ghost. Incels and both keep waiting for a fairy tale that doesn't exist. And the longer they wait, the more they harden. They start to believe, no one could ever love me, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The ladder of intimacy. Why relationships aren't video games. Here's what no one teaches you. Relationships are a staircase, not a ladder. Not a race, a staircase. Each step is a shared experience. Step 1, you notice someone. Step 2, you smile. Step 3, you say hello. Step 4, you have a conversation. Step 5, you hang out. Step 6, you touch arm, shoulder, hand. Step 7, you kiss. Step 8, you date. Step 9, you become intimate. Step 10, You build a life. But here's where lonely people fail. They try to skip to step 10. They see intimacy as the goal, but it's the result. And when you skip the steps, you don't get love, you get disaster. That's why so many incels obsess over sex, because they think, if I can just get that, I'll be happy. But you won't, because intimacy without connection is empty. It's like eating food with no taste. And that's why robo.
Wifus don't fix loneliness.
Because what these men really want isn't sex. It's care. It's someone who notices when they're sad. It's a hand on their back when they're stressed. It's presence, and no doll can give that. The hope, can this be fixed? So is there hope? Yes, but not in the way. You think, we don't need more dating apps, we don't need more therapy, we don't need more self-help gurus, we need culture change. We need to stop idolizing beauty. We need to stop shaming loneliness. We need to teach people, especially young people, that connection is more important than perfection. And we need to normalize average, because most of us are average, and average is beautiful. You don't need to be a model. You don't need to be rich. You just need to be kind. You just need to show up. And if you're lonely, start small. Text a friend. Go to a cafe. Join a club. Say hi to someone, not to get someone, but to practice being seen. Because the opposite of loneliness isn't love. It's participation. It's showing up. Even when you're scared, it's saying, I'm here. I exist. I matter. And slowly, the world starts to notice, I'm not here to give you a fake happy ending. I'm not going to say, just believe in yourself, or you'll find someone someday. Because I don't know that. Maybe you won't. But here's what I do know. You are not broken. You are not worthless. You are not unlovable. You are a human being in a world that forgot how to see humans. And if you're watching this, you're already fighting, and that's more than most people ever do. So keep going. Even if it's slow, even if it hurts, even if you fail. Because the only true failure is giving up, and you haven't. So no, smash that like button if this resonated with you. Share it with someone who's alone. Not to fix them, but to say, I see you. Because sometimes that's enough. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just human. And that's okay.